Hi, City Council of Harrisonburg. I'm Casey.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Chandler.
I'm Carolyn.
And today we're going to tell you why you guys should invest in Crossroads and how it'll benefit our economy. So, we'll tell you about what they do, how they help people with brain injuries. We'll show you some programs that they provide and how they help people recover. And we'll show you a quick video about someone who's going through a tough time with a brain injury.
Adding life to years, that is the NRA's difference. And you can find it right here.
We went to West Virginia and we got a phone call, and we were told that he was inoperable because he'd been in a car accident and the brain damage was massive, bleeding was extensive, and there was nothing that could be done.
Adam Holmberlin's traumatic brain injury was so severe, doctors weren't holding out much hope.
In the hospital, the family wasn't sure if he was even going to make it to survive, and it had to be major neurosurgery. But he has come around remarkably well. So how did you do that tonight?
Traumatic brain injuries like the one Adam suffered are at an epidemic level in the United States.
He's got an occupational therapist here, a physical therapist here, a neuropsych therapist here, and they're just doing wonderful, wonderful things with him. They really are.
For David Hall to watch as Adam has gone from this to this has been amazing and gratifying, and he credits NRH for the turnaround.
Number one, I expected to get back here in time for my drive to bury my son. I didn't think he was going to live. And then number two, I expected if he lives, am I going to have to come back here and make decisions about whether to leave him on life support or whether not to? And then to get back here and have a son who this hospital has taken care of and rehab has up and walking and talking and interacting when the initial prognosis was, here's someone we can't operate on. There's no hope. That's a miracle. Truly is.
So, several years ago, I was also in a really bad accident, and I went through rehabilitation services type stuff for about 2 years, and Crossroads is not just a place where it's just if you were in an accident, we're just oh, here's a job, just trying to help you, but it actually it really helps you mentally and physically, and it provides you services for rehabilitation, it provides you doctors, just different therapists, neuropsych therapists. There's a whole bunch of different specialists that are a part of these different programs, and Crossroads is very important to people that are and have been in injuries like this, and it has definitely helped me and my family. And I had to go through speech rehabilitation. I lost my memory, so I had to go through memory rehabilitation, just learn who I was again. And these places are not a joke. It's very serious, and the people who experience these kind of injuries they should be taken very seriously. And Crossroads is a very important place in Harrisonburg.
Okay, so my junior year of basketball season, I suffered a traumatic brain injury, and some of the things I went through severe headaches. I couldn't think. I had trouble memorizing things in school for the next month or two. And if there would have been something like Crossroads in my area, I would have probably recovered a lot faster than I did. So Crossroads is very important and should be kept in Harrisonburg. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all a success story now. This guy came through Crossroads a couple years ago, but his name's Robert, and Robert is a father of 2 children. After work one day, Robert suffered a traumatic stroke that left him in a hospital bed, unable to talk, walk, or eat or think straight. For example, Robert would eat with straw and drink with a fork. So after being released from the hospital, he was able to go home, but he was completely dependent on his wife. And so she had to like give him his medicine, change his clothes, bathe him, all that. So that's when Robert decided to contact Crossroads. And when he contacted Crossroads, they put him through like speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and helped him get back. So with a lot of that, Robert now, he ran his first mile without any stopping since his stroke, and he's now a motivational speaker. And one day, Robert hopes to run a marathon and return back to his job. So now I'm going to give you some quotes from other patients who had success with Crossroads. This is off Crossroads Incorporated website. My case manager has been extremely helpful to us in finding resources and services needed to help my son through his recovery. And without your services, I wouldn't have nowhere to turn for help in so many areas. So now I'm going to turn it over to Casey to talk about different types of brain injuries.
So the people that come here, they have many different types of brain injuries. One's acquired, and it happens after birth. It's not related to genes or anything, and it doesn't progress over time. And there's traumatic brain injury, which is like the most common. You probably have had one or know someone that has had one. And it happens with physical damage done to the head. Could happen in car accidents, falls, sports injuries. And this quote from the Brain International Association was 80,000 people are estimated to be discharged from the hospital with some TBI-related disability. And this is in the United States alone, like every year. So it's like a big number of people. So before we talk about the rehabilitation team, I'll tell you some symptoms that they've gone through. And Robert, it could be cognitive. You could forget things, not know who you are, or have headaches and confusion, not be able to concentrate. You could have blurred vision, not be able to speak. So they have to go through all these different types of therapies and know how to do stuff. So with that, we need a rehabilitation team that helps people, and all these different people that specialize in different things. And this is a quote from the Stanford Healthcare website. The brain injury rehabilitation team revolves around the patient and the family and helps set short and long-term treatment goals for recovery. Many skilled professionals are part of the pulmonary rehabilitation team. So this rehabilitation team is different types of therapists, occupational, physical, neurologist, a dietitian, some speech therapy, anything like that. And it depends what part of the brain there is, and that this is a key to a successful recovery, because without these people, they wouldn't know how to speak again properly. They wouldn't know what to do with that. So with your help and funding, we can get these specialists that study in these areas and have a great knowledge of everything. So it can help Crossroads recover.
So services of Crossroads, their main purpose is to affect the people that are affected by a brain injury. They want to help them and individually give them the support they need. And case management is the big and their most core function of services. They provide a support group for people that go through a brain injury, and through community support services, positive behavioral support facilitation, education, outreach, and advocacy, and professional case consultation. They will partnership with places like Wilson Workforce, which is a rehabilitation center that is in Byronville, Virginia. They would send you there to rehabilitate because they don't have all the funding and proper center to do things like Casey was saying earlier. And there's also support groups and programs like the Greater Shenandoah Valley and SWAG the Greater Augustus Brain Injury and Stroke Support Group, whose missions are to empower survivors of brain injuries and their families through support, awareness, and education, advocacy, and prevention, which they all have like the same message of just trying to help those that go through a traumatic brain injury. And we know, as Chandler and Caroline said, that that's tough and it's a long process and it's not easy and people need support. As I said, in Fishersville, Virginia, is where Wilson Workforce and Rehabilitation Center is, and that's a partnership that Crossroads would send you to go get your rehabilitation. And Casey said earlier that they have the therapies, and this is where you would go to get those therapies. You go get a neuropsychological, physical, occupational, speech and cognitive therapies, and they treat you as you need it fit of what your brain injury is, and they want to get you back in the workforce so you can have a steady job and have a steady life.
So Mayor Deanna Reed is part of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and it is a non-for-profit organization whose purpose is to provide support and assistance to all individuals. Here's a quote from their actual website of the sorority. Delta Sigma Theta sorority is uniquely positioned to impact not only the well-being of its membership, but also the well-being of families and communities at large. Journey to wellness, committing our bodies to physical and mental health, is now the signature physical and mental health call to action. So their call to action is living a healthy life, so physical and mental health as well. And they have three prolonged approach to a journey of wellness. So number one is to refocus, to include physical activity in your everyday life. Two, physical health includes chronic diseases. And number three, mental health. So the Mayor Deanna Reed knows in her own daily life as being a member of a sorority that mental and physical health is very important, and that she should know that Crossroads is very important because we do support and try to help people to get back to their normal mental and physical health before they had injuries. And so she should know how important it is for people because she has worked for years in this sorority. And she's also a part of the chapter here, the Iota chapter here at James Madison. So she is a part of the community here, and she should know that being physical and mentally healthy is a very big part of your life, and it impacts everyone, not just you, but impacts your family and everyone involved. And that Crossroads is very well connected to that as well.
In conclusion, we want to say how we want this funding because we need to help, and we want to better help and support our people, our community, our Shenandoah Valley with people that go through a traumatic brain injury because it's severe and it's known as the hidden disability. And with that disability, many people don't know what someone's going through. So they could have the smallest headache and that could lead to something major. And without the proper treatment, you will not be able to do daily life, and that will make it worse for you. And we need to be behind those and need to be funded to help those and support those that need this. Thank you.